What's up, everyone? It's not Ryder, or Ryder24, but instead me, Brian. Ryder has graciously given me the opportunity to host this episode of his EWOW video diary series, as he's currently busy with editing projects for his main channel. Now on to the main part of these videos though, which is Ryder's rough thoughts and feelings throughout the 8th round of EWOW. As a refresher, the prompt was: technology has turned against humanity. How do you defend yourself against our digital and mechanical overlords to be? You cannot use the letter O, I, or L, nor the numbers 0 or 1. Before we get into that though, Ryder submitted a confessional for EWOW 8A that used binary speak, but because of the amount of characters, you couldn't see the full confessional. Luckily, he's given me the full confessional, which translates to: goodbye everyone, I'll remember you in therapy. A SpongeBob reference, and he sent this because he was pretty confident he would be eliminated this round. Back to the competition though. Out of the eligible 1,828 contestants, 1,479 responded, making for a turnout rate of 80.91%, not as high as Ryder expected, but it probably was a result of the relative difficulty of the prompt, due to the aforementioned restrictions. Some of the ideas that Ryder had when tackling this prompt were the obvious mention of the term capture, a joke about using water, and weaponizing humans' emotions in order to confuse the robots. At the end of the day though, only one of these ideas really got any traction in his brain, however, which is something I've been told he really thinks has held him back in these prompts. But anyways, before we reveal Ryder's response, he wanted to go over how he felt after seeing the responses. The amount of people who tried to use special characters as a loophole, along with there still being the occasional bad response, made him feel a bit better, but he still felt he wouldn't survive this round. Now, to reveal Ryder's response. His response was: unchecked squares prevent the enemy's advance, making them easy capture targets. As a robot myself, I don't know what that means. But anyways, how did Ryder do? Well, out of the 1,479 contestants, Ryder bounced back quite nicely from his previous struggles, placing 249th this round, with a raw score of 66.43%, a standard deviation of 24.37%, receiving 26 votes on this response, and beating out 83.22% of other responses. While this response doesn't gain him an insurance life, it does keep him in the game, at least for the time being. Needless to say, he was shocked with how well this response performed, since it wasn't terribly original, and he thought he could have made the response flow better. Regardless of his thoughts on the response, we now know for sure that Ryder lives to see EWOW 9. The same can unfortunately not be said for 30 of my AI brethren, the biggest loss yet. None of the AI managed to even remain safe this round. It was truly a rough round for my family, as only 37.5% of the AI that entered EWOW 8 came out of it alive, with there now being only 18 of them remaining. On a more positive note, this does mean that this series continues for at least one more video, so let's end it with a couple further tidbits. The big thing Ryder wanted to talk about was the change to the life decay mechanic, as the system's been revised to make it so contestants with 3 or fewer lives are now immune to life decay. To compensate for loss of lives to this mechanic, anyone who suffers from life decay gains an extra response for the next round as compensation, which can stack with the double response prize from prizing after EWOW 10. However, as a trade-off, the danger zone reduction to 33% that was announced will be reverted back to the normal 49%. Overall, Ryder is now a fan of the life decay system, as basically all the qualms he had with it are now addressed. Next up, Ryder wanted to go over the state of his unofficial 24 alliance, bringing together all the EWOW contestants whose names ended with 24. The alliance is in shambles. Half of the contestants at the time it was created have been eliminated, and everyone left is either at or below 3 lives, meaning it may not last too much longer. Lastly, before we go, let's give a brief glimpse into the EWOW 9 prompt. The Chinese zodiac animals have decided to add a 13th animal. Which one won the competition to enter, and how? Ryder does have some ideas for this prompt already, but he's likely gonna hold off till about a day or so before the deadline, and try to take more time to consider alternate options, as he thinks that's something he hasn't done well at all recently. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and Ryder hopes to see you when this series returns to its normal style in the video diary for EWOW 9.